Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. USAPrepares.com. This is hour number 1. And we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. If you'd like to listen on your phone, you may. The listen line is 605-562-7727. 605-562-7727 or 605-562-4080. 605-562-4080. Matt is engineering the broadcast. I'm sorry. Yeah, Matt's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota, and Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning. Good morning, Vincent.
Jeez.
I love your laugh. I do. It's weirder than mine, even.
I get a lot of comments about Ricky's laugh. People say, Rick, when I had a job decades ago, and there'd be people who would come in, and the meeting would be all serious and look like the company was going to go under, and that kind of thing. And some guy would come in and he'd be just laughing, having all kinds of fun. They go, geez, obviously he doesn't get it.
Yeah, that sounds like Captain Ahab going down with a ship. Ah! Yeah, when the company's going downhill. This sickness that I've had is the swine flu. It's the H5N1 virus, and it is global right now. I don't know if anybody knows that. The reason I know is that I do radio all over the world, and so I have friends in India, Shanti Maya, and she's been really sick. I have friends in Ireland. His whole family just recovered. This is my 4th week. I'm better. I'm recovering. You can still hear the frog in my voice and the break in my larynx because I still have the cough. It is the worst sickness. I've had mumps. I've had as an adult. I've had measles. I actually had measles. Blah 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 blah. Chicken pox. This is a bad one. I'm not sure how it got spread globally. I have to wonder what and why, like they tried with Ebola. I don't get it. But I feel like I've got my body full of antigens now, and I'm ready to take on the next BS that they send out. And when I say they, I got to believe some of this is orchestrated. I honestly, now I'm convinced of it, even though I can't prove it. I think something else is going on, and I don't like it.
What do you think might be going on, Rick?
I don't know. Bio-APIs, they're testing the dispersal of some, they could put anything in geoengineering, and there would be no way to really know until it was too late. They could do anything like that, and if they could, they would. That's the old saying, Hollywood if she could. And I'm telling you, I've been watching disaster movies the last week, prepping up, for myself mentally. And the most accurate movie I have seen on the way it's probably going to be, I just posted on Facebook that it begins now with the El Nino, will be the movie The Day cause an ice age. And that is exactly how it plays. That movie is quite accurate when he said the temperature is dropping 10 degrees per second. And you get an inversion like this, and basically what this is about is the globe is resetting the ocean currents. It's a rebooting. They're changing. We had 7 markers, now we have 4, and the Pacific one is absolutely in change. And NOAA just came out this morning with El Nino. Here it is, and it is exactly like the way it played in the movie. And so one of the things of global engineering might be the way in the movie 2012, where they start off in 2009, knowing that we're about to hit a brick wall across the board, and have been frantically trying to inch every extra day out. I don't know. What I do know is nobody's talking about the real truth, and that's because panic, people would panic and things. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that happens. I like Cliff High. I personally find his insights interesting, and he has a thing called webbots that are a little different than the military ones we use with Clifford algebra. His appear to be, using On's algebra and Goetzel's works, appear to be even more accurate. And he's saying, the webbots are saying that August money is going to crash and a bunch of banks are going to fail. And it's going to be possibly like the savings and loan, where hundreds of thousands of people are going to lose their entire life savings in CDs, IRAs, and money tucked away in banks that default and don't have the cash because it's not real. Now, I don't know if this is an argument for gold and silver. I don't know how that plays. What I do know is one of our lifeboats that we're designing right now has a copper mine, and we have a barter. And that's the kind of infrastructure that I will be talking about with Matt Stein in terms of how to set up a local, regional, sustainable lifeboat, and then have something, not money, that makes your bunker important to other bunkers. And we can talk about this in more detail today, but this is going to be kind of what I plan to do for the first part of my talk. The second part of my part of Matt, which will probably be 2 or 3 hours, will be on the gut. And I'm going to measure, everybody in that workshop is going to get a baseline on where they are with the SP, and then I'm going to try a few protocols, take guided image, and measure you again before I kick you out of the workshop. Matt is going to talk about some very practical necessities. You and I had spoken about water. We will cover water today if you'd like. That's probably going to be the first on a long list of things you need to start thinking about, because, 2020, and actually my guess is 2017, is when things start to go really south. And we have 2 more years. And I don't know how quickly or slowly all of this is going to unfold. It must happen. There is no option. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. This workshop, this conference, this convention that you're doing is going to be so essential for everybody to have their eyes opened to the possibilities of what is out there and available as alternatives. My birthday present from Grace Thorne. Grace is here, by the way. Here, say hi, Grace.
Hi, Vincent.
Hey, Grace, how are you?
I'm good.
Hey,
she's the only one in the neighborhood that is the rock. She didn't get sick. Everybody is sick. And she is just it takes it up and helps. It's just very cool. She'll be coming with May, help me with Matt and my table, books and things like that.
And, Mrs. Finelli said, okay, so Grace is coming, and Dr. Judy Wood is coming, and Erin Dakins is coming, and they're going to be a few ladies. And she said, okay, where will they sleep? And I said, oh, they're all going to sleep in the same room. And she said, but they don't know each other. And I said, but they will.
Oh, yeah, that's how that works. I'm looking forward. Is Ed Marvini coming? Is he going to be there?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Well, Ed Marvini. Yeah.
I am so deeply appreciative. Yeah.
Ed Marvini's going to be with us.
Unselfishly, just really helped me. I want everybody to know that his abilities, even though he's not like the ex-webmaster, he went in when I was acting, cleaned it up, made it work. He's just been a lifesaver for me, and I just formally wanted to personally thank him for everything he's done with me. I just truly, is the freeze-dry guy going to be there, Ron?
Ron, who? The freeze-dry guy?
Oh, it's the freeze-dry guy.
The freeze-dry guy called me, and he wants to come. And then he said he's doing some warehouse work in California, and he's going to try to make it, but he's not sure. So it's been on, off.
Well,
Now,
he's working his thing, man. I have to tell you, Ron,
he's not coming.
Got a lot of class.
Yeah. He's not coming as an exhibitor, but if he does show up, he'll be coming as just one of the faculty having a lot of fun. That's really what he wants to do.
I really like the freeze-dry guy. I have enjoyed meeting him several times, and looking forward to meeting some of the other people. Joey, looking forward to Joey.
Yeah.
Joey sends me 20 emails a day, Ron. But he's also the one that has kept me up to date on everything. And from that point of view, he's helped make me become the monster I'm becoming.
You know what's really interesting, Rick, that you mentioned Joey. Joey's a really good guy, and we had a little event here at the farm, and Joey drove from up north down to Missouri, and he spent some time with us here, and we had so many neat people. Norm Shealy was here. And it was just a 6th of July, get together that we had at the farm. And the farm is becoming a destination for faculty. And, Joey's a great researcher. He's got his eyes on the screen, and he lets us know things that are happening. So I'm looking forward to seeing Joey and class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. Help me.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Rick Miller's West. Hey, Rick, many years ago when I had a job, the boss came over to me and he said, Vinny, let's go to lunch. And I said, okay, all right, yeah. I thought, what could this be about? I've never been to lunch with the boss. And so we went to lunch, just the two of us. And he said, after we sat down a few minutes later, he said, Vinny, I'm going to lose my job. And I said, wow, that's terrible. It's awful. And, so I was really upset about him losing his job. And they said, they're going to let him go. And then a minute later, he said, and you're going to lose yours too. And he said, actually, we're all going to lose our jobs. They're shutting the place down. They're shutting this, division of the bank down. And so, you and I are going to be two of the guys to shut the lights off, and there's going to be a lot of crying, and people are going to wonder what happened, and so all those rumors that you guys all thought were, we were talking about for months and months and months. Well, yeah, it's true. We're shutting down. And the reason I'm mentioning that is a lot of us have been thrown overboard by companies, and we've lost our jobs. And, I used to say that that's a good thing, because for me, it was a great thing, because I'd still be banging on the keyboard, developing computer systems for large banks. Well, maybe. Anyway, so I lost my job and I was one of the guys to shut the lights off, and it was terrible. But shutting the lights off means you get to stay an extra couple of days. That's all that means. Well, many of us have lost our jobs. Many of us have been fired for lots of different reasons. And my dad used to talk about security, and he'd say, get within a big company and, grow with that company, and you'll have some security. And there is no such thing as security. And, maybe in my dad's era there was, but there isn't anymore. If your company
dream was an illusion. Yeah, the American dream was an illusion. If you worked harder, you could have more. That is not true anymore. It is an illusion. The American dream is no longer real, and it's why capitalism is failing, communism is failing. What seemingly may be our future is communal living, working together in a small community like a retirement center of senior citizens with their houses circling like a wagon train around their garden.
Yep. Well,
that will be our future. It will be more communal. It will be on barter. Money means nothing. It is a theatrical prop. And the day after the 2012 movie, what was it? It was $1 billion euro for a seat on the lifeboat. And the Arab is saying, I have a large family. You know, it's going to play like this. Lifeboats do not need to be expensive. And really, the primary thing you need to have together is your water. If you have your water, the food is not that hard to do. For myself, our wells up on the hill where I have just recently moved, all going dry. Not completely dry, but I had a DEFCON 3 less than a month ago before the rain started, and we were pulling sand. So I realized, holding tanks, I have a large pond. It's going to have lots of mosquitoes. Grace came up with this idea. I forget who it was. Why don't you put some goldfish in it? Now you have protein. And you see, it's like with water, there are several things you have to do to make it drinkable. And we have plenty of ways to desalinate ocean and seawater. We just haven't expanded those technologies into the primary functioning of everybody's day-to-day life. And that's the kind of thing that now needs to begin thinking about how to do that.
You know, Rick, we're talking about losing our jobs and building community. One of the reasons I mentioned that is, and you mentioned Ed Marvini. Ed Marvini is a webmaster. He's a brilliant designer, and he's got lots of years of experience. Well, he's going to come to the expo, and he's going to teach us in a couple seminars, how to build an e-commerce website. So he'll teach you how to do it and how to take payments for products and services on the internet. Because if you don't have a job, you can make your own right out of that spare bedroom or the guest room in your house. And I'll teach you how to take deductions for all of this. We'll be right back. Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather. the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA Plus. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Rick, the threats to us are 360 degrees. We've got water, we've got the sun burping, we have the ever looming grid collapse, we have radiation all around us, and that's what we're going to prepare for and teach people about at the expo. And so the expo is not this weekend, but it's the following weekend. It starts on Friday, with Rick Miller and Matt Stein teaching their all-day seminar on game over events. And it's very, very serious. So if you're a serious preparedness-minded person and you want to get some advanced studies, that's the place to get them. So Matt Stein will be with us. And Matt is shipping in his two bestsellers, When Technology Fails and When Disaster Strikes. He'll be selling them at the expo at a discount. He'll autograph them for you, personalize them. Rick, you're bringing some books also. I'm really excited about that all day Friday.
Well, here's my pitch.
And then, yeah.
No, go ahead, Vincent. I'll make my pitch when you're finished.
Well, and then I was thinking about, the dinner we have Friday night, the banquet dinner. So after everyone is set up, after all the exhibitors are setting up, while you and Matt are presenting your seminar on game over events and how to deal with it, how to cope, and how to survive, then we have a banquet dinner where we all get together, the guests get together, the exhibitors get together, the instructors get together, and we just introduce ourselves for a couple minutes each at the microphone. And that way, all of our guests and instructors and exhibitors learn who each other is. And it's the coolest thing because after that, then we all know who to look for, who to meet, who we're interested in the subject matter and the personalities. And it's such a cool event. And we did that at Ziggy's restaurant one time years ago. And the restaurant held about 160 people. We had, I think, around 310. And so it was absolutely packed. You couldn't get a seat. I mean, we were jammed in there. And we actually had to have these presentations run one after another in 2 separate rooms because we couldn't all fit in the main dining room at Ziggy's. So we're going to do that at the Cowan Civic Center. So if you'd like to have dinner with us, it's $10.80 for a banquet meal. The tickets are on the website. You can go to Get Prepared Expo or USA Prepares, and you can get your tickets right there online. And the reason we need your tickets to be online is so that we have a head count. We know how many meals to prepare because it's going to be catered. And it will be, you'll be dining with linen, and you'll have a fabulous chicken and beef meal with, it's just fabulous. The menu is on the website. It's, and Chief Cloudpiler is going to be consecrating the grounds as sacred Native American grounds. So if you want to be a Native American adopted medicine man or woman, he'll teach you how. And you can get that information right at his seminars at the expo as well. So the dinners include rosemary and honey chicken, herb-encrusted roast beef, steamed mixed vegetables with broccoli, bell pepper, squash, and squash in it, lemon, dill, butter sauce, garlic, smashed potatoes, Ozark green salad, French bread, and real butter, brewed iced tea. That's for the 2 dinners, Friday and Saturday. Sunday, we have Jimmy's Egg catering our banquet lunch. So those are opportunities for you to meet with your instructors, your favorite radio personalities. Rick, I don't know how we're going to do it because at your table, there's only 8 seats. At Matt Stein's table, there's only 8 seats.
Fine.
At Norm Shealy's.
Yeah, here's my pitch. Yeah, here's my pitch. Starving artist comes to mind. Missouri may be no longer doable because airlines are not working after in the next couple of years. I am strongly recommending anybody that should try to make presence at this workshop and the event as a possible last moment networking and setting up a darshan, eyeball to eyeball, where you know the people, you've talked to them, you've met them, and we may never. Missouri's a long ways from Oregon, and what's going to happen when the oil and airlines no longer. We talked about it last week with United. Canceling flights because they didn't have enough bookings. They overbook. That is the beginning of the end. And if you want to watch what I think is going to be some of the markers, watch what happens in Asia with the weather, because that will be where it starts first with the currents. And just like in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, it starts with large ice chunks falling out of the sky that begin killing people because they're so large. When you see that, that will be the first of a number of triggers that will be changing the ocean currents and the reboot of our planet. Now, this doesn't have to be a bad thing, but if you're not prepared, it's like dropping 10 degrees per second, and it goes down to 100 below Fahrenheit, and people and things freeze on the moment like a woolly mammoth. It will be exactly like that. It won't last. It will reset itself, go back to semi-normal with new landmass continents, just like in the movie 2012. In fact, both movies incorporate disaster aspects that probably will not ultimately happen to the graphic level of those movies. But even a tenth of that. Fukushima was only a 3-foot tsunami. What do you think will happen to some countries like Indonesia if they have a 100-foot tsunami? And in the 2012, that was kicked off by a 9.4 event. That's a 1,000-foot wave that takes off continents. And, all the Asian countries today, this moment, are moving their seacoast cities to higher ground. It's happening across the board because this event is at some point, probably going to happen in your lifetime. My guess, I don't have a clue, but I'm hoping to meet each and every one of you at the conference and having Darshan, the eyeball to eyeball, so you have a better sense of who else is out there besides you. Missouri is a long ways away. It would be nice to have networking in Wisconsin, Indiana, whatever, because this will be the future of our men. And it will no longer be about money. It will most likely be about barter. What is it that you have that other people do not have? And that comes down to the joy of your skills. That's what you need to do now. Instead of doing first aid kits, you better start thinking about field trauma kits, because where's your doctor?
Mm-hmm. And we're teaching all of those things that you've mentioned.
How to separate one situation from another, and what is prioritizing things.
We're teaching all
concepts of it.
Yeah.
Water
we're teaching all those
first.
things at the Get Prepared Expo, Rick. Every one of those things that you've mentioned. We're teaching every one of those things at the Get Prepared Expo this time. And you know, you mentioned, or you kind of alluded that, you know, there may not be another expo.
Well, I don't mean it
No.
negatively. I mean, there may be no way
I know.
for us to all get to one centralized point and
Rick,
have the information at one source.
Well, Rick, I've been thinking about that for the last week or so, that there may not be another Get Prepared Expo after this one. And there could be a lot.
Have one, literally.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. And I'm not trying to be a doom and gloomer. There are a lot of reasons that would prevent us from having another expo. A grid down situation would be one of them. How would you get the fuel to get here? The airlines? How would you get whatever you need?
Ride my horse all the way across country.
Yeah. and how would you know about it? You know, how would you know that there was going to be an expo? So, class, seriously, I'm not kidding. You know, let me share some unpleasant information. You know, Expo number 1, we had Derry Brownfield. He was going to be our keynote speaker. Derry Brownfield was a really good guy. He had his cattle farmer right here in Missouri. He was on a number of radio stations, over 100 at one time. And I used to listen to him on shortwave when I lived in Virginia. I loved him. I couldn't believe it. You know, I moved near him, you know, within, let's say a couple hundred miles of his farm. And I contacted him. He was all excited to come to the Get Prepared Expo. Expo number 1. The one we're going to have now is Expo number 7. Well, I got a letter from him, hand-typed on his IBM Selectric typewriter. It was mailed on a Friday, about a month before the expo. He said he and his wife were all excited. They were coming to the expo, and they were looking forward to it. He mailed that letter to me, hand-signed it, mailed it on a Friday as he was leaving his radio office, his studio. Mailed it, went home, and died the next day. Then another expo, Sheriff Richard Mack was going to be there, and his mom died, and he couldn't make the expo. And so, you know, those were two featured speakers for the expo that couldn't make it because of events that were very, very significant in their family. So, I mean, Derry Brownfield died and Sheriff Richard Mack's mother died. And I got a call from another guy who told me he was unable to make the expo. He's been to all of our expos. His name is Joel Johnson. He was unable to make this expo. And so he didn't have a seminar slot. He wasn't listed as an exhibitor. He called me last night and he said, you know, I just worked it all out. You know, I'm going to be at the expo. So I'm delighted that he's going to be there. But what I'm saying is things happen in people's lives that will affect us and a whole bunch of us. And something may happen, and this may be the last expo. I'm very serious about that. And I tell our meetup group that, you know, someday Vinny may not be doing meetups anymore. Something may happen to Vinny. We'll be right back. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago. and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. Helmet.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
So, class, we're talking about the Get Prepared Expo, and, I hate to throw a wet blanket on this, but It could very well be the last one that we're going to have, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And I'm just sharing some things that I've never really discussed. Rick and I are kind of sharing them. But, the last expo that we had, Matt Stein was unable to attend. His wife had multiple myeloma, and she was really, really in trouble. Ultimately, she died. He had his ticket to come to the Get Prepared Expo. He had his flight all booked, paid for, ready to go, and he couldn't attend because his wife was so sick. Bill Whaley couldn't make it either because his wife had cancer. And Matt's wife died, and Bill Whaley's wife is still with us. She's getting better. Now, Matt Stein and Bill Whaley will be with us at this Get Prepared Expo. But Joyce Riley has cancer. And, some days she has good days, and some days are not so good. So I'd really like those of you who are inclined to pray, if you'd please include Joyce Riley in your prayers. And Richard Mack. Richard Mack, I understand, is coming to the Get Prepared Expo. I've gotten reports on a every few day basis. He's coming to the expo, but he had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. And the plan is for him to be at the expo. My understanding is he will be at the expo. I confirmed that yesterday. And I'm looking forward to seeing Sheriff Richard Mack. But we're getting older. All of us are getting older. And cancer's everywhere. And cancer seems to be hitting our instructors' families. So you put all these things together. You put the power grid, Fukushima, you put together the economy, you put together these gauntlets, you put together, the flights that get canceled. You fly United Airlines and you book your flight, you pay for your flight, and you find out that you've been thrown off your flight because they've oversold it by 28%. And you just happen to be the lucky one that gets thrown off the airplane. They'll fly you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow might be too late. Especially if you're giving a seminar. So these things happen, and they are happening, and we're getting older. So if you're inclined to prepare, if you're inclined to survive, I'd like you to strongly consider making this expo, because it just very well may be your last. And we don't know how long we're even going to be on the air. Barry and the boys and girls can shut down the internet. If they shut down the internet, we're done. Then our only resort is to go to ham radio. And how many of you have shortwave radios to pick us up on the ham bands?
By the way, on the shortwave, we have our own little infrastructure here, and the guy across the street said that 10 megahertz downward has been up and down on world communications because of the recent CMEs. And this one coming in Tuesday, watch. These are the triggers that are going to be the advanced warning. I have never been as sick as I've been in my entire life. I went through, they had an open house party. I was dead to the world. I had my birthday, dead to the world. I am now slowly in recovery. You can hear my voice isn't quite right there yet. My girlfriend is now superseding me and feeling better. I have to say, everybody around here has been sick. Everybody that I know in other countries have been sick with the same thing. Again, I don't know what's really going on. How does swine flu spread across the world? Everywhere. India,
Rick,
Germany. How does that work?
Rick, when we come, airlines, they distribute sickness worldwide. We're just one flight away from getting sick. Rick, when we come back, let's talk about balance. And I've talked with one of our instructors off air, Aaron Dakins, and we talked about, it's tough to get our physical balance. I'm talking about not falling down, that kind of balance, standing up. and having our balance. And I've noticed that it was tough for one day. Let's talk about that when we come back. She did too. Dr. Richard Allen Miller.com. RichardAllenMiller.com.
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today, it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy Level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable Level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Here is what one doctor has to say about Extendovite.
I would like to thank you, Don, for making my job so much easier, because your products just make it so simple, right? To fool around with a lot of exotic things that don't work, we can just put them on your product and things start to work almost right away. I've had dozens and dozens of patients with heart problems who have corrected them, and what it's doing, there's so much garlic in there that has a yeast-killing effect. The yeast is a big problem in the gut, pushes the liver hard. It also has metal chelating effect, and most of the other herbs in there I find that strengthen the arteries. They help to neutralize free radicals. Your remedy close to what we do in our program as you can get as far as one supplement goes. It's working on the gut, it's working on the liver, it's working on the arteries. What more can you ask for?
To get your Extendovite, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked, hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. RichardAllenMiller.com. Richard, A-L-A-N, Miller.com. Rick, during the previous hour, we were talking about loss of balance. And I was on the phone with Aaron Dakins. Aaron Dakins broadcasts right here, 2 hours per evening, Monday through Friday, 10 to midnight, Central Time. And we were talking yesterday about loss of balance. And she and I talk many times during the week. And we also do a broadcast on Fridays called The Bunker Files and on Truth Frequency Radio. And so we were talking about what we're going to talk about on Friday. And one of the things that came up was this loss of balance. And I said, you know, I experienced that for the first time. All of a sudden it happened. And she experienced it on the same day. Rick, what's going on?
It's the virus knocks down the one that I had, the swine flu, is like a virus that is affecting higher levels of consciousness. It's like we have the physical sickness, and then there's an emotional sickness, and it's like dimensional. It's like more rigorous than just the physical plane. It's not just a demon, it's a demon with intent. Okay, now, once that happens, I watched this virus that I had move from a tooth. There's nothing wrong with it. And all of a sudden it was impacted. The impact didn't last very long. It moved to my throat. Then it moved down into my chest. Then it moved. You could actually, literally, feel it moving around. And while it was doing that, it was affecting my depression. It was like, I'm a very positive man. And I watched how I was becoming suicidal. Where are these thoughts coming from? Why would I want to just quit? And it was all the virus. It is a very strong, multi-dimensioned virus, if you will, look at it like that. And the balance in the ear is another place, the inner ear. I had Eustachian. Helen Down did this Hopi thing on me where she puts this cone of paper in my ear and lights one ear, the other side of it, and wax is pulled out of it. And once that wax was pulled out, I couldn't believe how much wax was coming out of my ear. I'm not kidding. And it is a Hopi thing. And it worked. And I recognize the balance. But the balance that you're talking about is a metaphor for your center of self. And that's where we're being attacked across the board. And so whether or not thoughts are coming from outside mind control or they're coming from inside neuroses and the way we were raised as children, who knows? What it is that you have a responsibility for the thoughts you choose to entertain, because that is what becomes reality. And if you've lost your sense of balance, that means you've lost your sense of center. And that's a metaphor, but that's an accurate metaphor. And once you get that, you go back looking for that center, because that's where health lies. And homeostasis for each of us is different. And what this disease has done is confused me on who I am. It's a metaphor.
Rick, what about this burp that the sun just did? Could that be causing
all of this is affecting your subtle body. Just like when Yellow in the movie 2012 or the other one with New York, where the ice age was coming on, you saw the birds all flying. They have a sense of something changing that we do not. And this is across the board in metaphor, and you start looking for these signs in the way your environment is trying to talk to you. Water is like right there. Have you noticed how in the mornings your mouth is drier because the humidity is less?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
There it is. It's happening across the board. We are under some kind of metaphysical, metaphorical attack. And I now say, bring it on, because those antigens in my body now that I've developed to slyly overcome this swine flu are now present in my body and have only done nothing but make me stronger. How did Worf put it? It's a good day to die. And what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I know that came from Lao Tzu, but I love Worf better, so I'll quote Klingon. It's just, a metaphor for what's going on in our universe, and everybody is getting it now. There's no, they're angry, and watch what happens when some of the banks fail and you can't get your money. You've lost it forever, just like they did with savings and loans. If you do not think that is not going to cause rioting and public disrest, and that's what the armor up is all about, because they know this is about to happen.
People are getting more angry, Rick, and
and they're angry, and they don't know why, and they don't know what to be angry at. However, I will remind everybody listening to me that anger is the first disease needed to cause cancer. I don't know anybody that didn't have cancer that didn't have anger first. including Matt's wife. That's what killed her, and Matt is convinced of that. And once she was so weakened down, she had no anger, she started to recover. And once she started to recover, her anger came back, and that's what killed her. It's a metaphor. Cancer is a physical thing, but there is always a more detailed resolution of the hologram in emotional body. And so we are being attacked on a lot of different levels.
You know, Dr. Norman Shealy, brain surgeon, medical doctor, Native American medicine man, PhD, Surgeon of the Year, he said exactly that you cannot, if you have a lot of anger, you cannot be well. It's impossible.
There's no way you can. It structures the water in your body. It structures the thoughts you project out into the world. And that, at our level of awareness, and we're only in 4th grade, I've said this, our level of awareness, imagination is reality. And so whatever you can imagine is true. And now you have a responsibility for, putting energy into that or not. And anger is one of the deadly sins, like jealousy, rage, and the others. Anger is a good emotion to wash a floor. If you're angry, use that energy constructively.
Mm-hmm. Rick, there's a post on the internet that talks about depression and how it affects our sense of time. And what this post is saying is that for healthy people that are happy, time travels very quickly, passes very quickly. And for those who are unhappy, depressed, time just drags on.
This is the nature, this is the nature of the sacred and the profane. And that part needs ritual to turn it on and off. Most of us hang out in a profane thing where we're watching the clock and waiting. And when you are in the flow, things become timeless and sacred.
Rick, so many of our broadcasts, you've been in the studio here at the farm, and in front of me I have 2 atomic clocks. One is an analog clock and one is a digital clock. I really prefer the analog clock. And I'll look up and I'll go, how'd that happen? Wow, we're almost done with that hour already. And then after 2 hours, how did that go so quickly? I mean, those are my thoughts every day. And yesterday, I was invited to be on for a couple hours with John Statmiller, and no prep whatsoever. It's just, hey, Vinny, want to come on with me on Wednesday? So I was on with him 2 hours, and I looked up and said, 2 hours have gone already. How did that happen? So I think that it's better to be happy by far. And as you're saying, and as Dr. Norman Shealy is saying, you can't be healthy if you are unhappy. And one of the things that Norm Shealy is going to teach at the Get Prepared Expo, not this weekend, but the following weekend, is how to be happy. And what we're going to do, he's going to give me a bottle of Bliss, and I'll have a whole bunch of Q-tips, and this will be Bliss without the roller. So if you want to try Bliss and see, seriously, class, if you come to the expo and you want to try Bliss and see if it does for you what it does for me and others, puts a grin on our faces, we'll try it right then and there. And I have never seen anyone, not one person who has tried it who wasn't grinning from ear to ear within seconds. Literally. So if you want to see that, just find me at the Get Prepared Expo. I'll have it. I'll have a bottle with me, and I'll have Q-tips and a.
Yeah, the big question is whether it works or it's that big hammer Norm uses when you put it on your head. Well, it doesn't matter. It's part of the laughter. Have you noticed how healthy laughter is, and why children laugh several hundred times a day, where adults are less than 5 or 6?
Yeah. You know, Rick, I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails about some of the laughter that we have on this broadcast. And and you know what they say? They say it's contagious.
Yes, good.
I think that's great. So if you want to try Bliss and see if it does for you what it does for the rest of us, we'll have it at the Get Prepared Expo. Going into a break, we'll be right back after a few short commercial announcements, and I'd like to talk about underground bunkers. Class, we want to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri.
Most people know that drinking pure high alkaline pH water is the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals. Using plasma pH drops is the best way to make your water alkaline to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops in the water you drink to raise the pH to a healthy level. Alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria, viruses, and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776 today.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
I just got an email from Ed Marvini. And, hey, Rick, Ed Marvini says he's listening at his ranch on the East Coast. Ed Marvini, I guess, listened to USA Prepares and became an instructor, and we're delighted he has. And he kind of followed in the footsteps. He bought a ranch, and he's at the ranch right now listening to USA Prepares, and here's what he said. He said he's crashing your seminar on Friday.
Cool. Now, I'm going to say something else. Because the registration is down, it's like only 40 or 50 people, and we can do 150. I want to prove something to Matt, and I'm going to try to see if we can't fill that thing up. And if you don't have money, what do you have to barter? I'm not interested in your money. I'm interested in you getting the information and us meeting. And that means it isn't for free, but if you have something to barter, you get to negotiate with Vincent himself for a way in. And Ed Marvini is crashing because he helps me with my website. What do you have in your skills that could help us move everything forward? And Matt and I have agreed it isn't so much about money as it is exchange of value, and we need you there as badly as you probably need us. And so with that said, make it happen. I want to jam that workshop so there's at least 150 people there. So because this will be a classic, once in a lifetime with Matt Stein and myself. We're going to try to give you the skills to go home and rebuild your own fort.
Rick, I was at one of your seminars at the last expo, and you were teaching us how to think like a Navy SEAL, and you'll be doing that at this expo as well. And you had us in a deep hypnotic state, and before you put us in that state, you asked us to think of a question that we wanted the answer to. And my question was, do I keep doing this? Do I keep broadcasting, or do I just, unplug the microphone and just become the farmer that I also am and just do farming without broadcasting at all? And so that was a question that I wanted the answer to. And so I was in this deep hypnotic state. And at the time that you said to ask the question, I asked the question, and boom, it was, yep, keep broadcasting.
There it is. We didn't wait. You actually already knew. You just wanted conscious confirmation and a way of dialoguing with that inner part of self. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do.
Yeah. Yep. And, and I've been fired a bunch of times, and no radio station, in the area where I live will touch this broadcast. They think I'm nuts, and not only do they think I'm nuts, they think I'm involved with a whole bunch of nuts.
Yeah, like Woody Harrelson on the top of Yellowstone. Here it comes, and I can't believe it. Oh golly gee whiz! Ah, kaboom! It's going to happen.
You know what, though, Rick? We're not nuts. We're not nuts. The others who think we're nuts are ignorant of the facts. They absolutely are ignorant of the facts. There are people who...
It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you have a more sense of self and sovereignty where you're not as so dependent on the 1%ers and what they choose for us. That's what we're all aspiring toward. That word in Greek is autarch, A-U-T-A-C-H, autarch, and it's A-R-C-H. It's a type of individual supreme sovereignty. And if you know how to get your water without electricity, if you know how to go into the woods and put a snare or dig a root, imagine what that gives you in terms of personal relationship to yourself and how you are less dependent on Safeway. When we had the longshoremen strike, so you're on the West Coast, and all those ships were in the harbor, that is now having a repercussion. When I went to Walmart, my office manager uses their straight talk and stuff like that. I noted that all the shelves in Walmart are only half full.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back. class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top-of-the-line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and if you'd like to go to his website, richardallenmiller.com, Richard, A-L-A-N, Miller.com. Rick, we've got Jack with us, usaprepares.com instructor. Jack, welcome.
Hello, Vincent.
Hey.
Are you still there?
Yeah, you're on the air. Welcome.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Miller.
Good morning. Good morning.
As Vincent knows, Dr. Miller is my favorite guest on the USA Prepares. I would like to comment on the inner ear thing. I had that about 2 years ago, and it took a year to get rid of it. I finally ended up putting a tube in one of my ears. But during that year, I had all kinds of things that went wrong with me. So I guess it's been around for a while.
You're talking about the balance problem?
Yes. Yes, I could.
Well, if you have fluid on the ears, if you have fluid in your ears, you can have balance problems. There's no question about it. And Rick, there have been ear tubes have been placed for a long time, decades that I know of, and they put these little like thimbles in the ear. They do a surgery, and it lets the fluid drain out, and then these little thimbles just fall out. Hopefully, they fall out rather than fall in, and that's the end of it. Is that what happened with you, Jack?
Yes. Yes, it is. Also, I'd like to ask a question, Dr. Miller. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it to his seminar on Friday. I am coming to the expo. Is he going to be giving a seminar on Saturday or Sunday, an hour?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I am, but I'm going to be at a table with Matt and Grace, and you're most welcome to come up and hassle me.
Well, I started watching the X-Files when it first come on, and I was fascinated with it. And like I said, you are my favorite guest on the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Jack,
and Vincent that brought me out of the closet, and it's their fault.
Me too, sort of.
Yeah, I'm going to expose myself at the seminar. I'm kidding. It's what I'm doing now is Matt and Vincent's fault. I would have been a farmer. I started radio with Vincent, and we have over the last few years become very close, even though we're so far away. But every week we have an ebb and flow in the way we work together and see things very clearly the same.
I'm right there with you. Thank you both very much.
Hey,
you betcha.
Jack, thanks so much for being with us. I'm looking forward to meeting you. We've been on the air together. We have not met in person. Jack is a Vietnam veteran, and let me just take a minute. Jack, you've seen the horrors of war, and we have young people who are being convinced by these uniforms that parade around in the lunch room in the cafeteria of schools. I'm talking about recruitment officers who come to the schools and tell these high school students, how you can travel the world and join the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and so forth, and what a great life it's going to be and how they'll pay for education. And I keep telling them, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it, because there are horrors of war. And
I have convinced.
Where were you in Vietnam? What was your tour? Where did you go?
In 1972.
Yeah, you're all younger. I graduated in 62 in high school, and 50%, that was before we were actually at war. We were advisors back then, but we had the draft. And I remember 50% of my classmates never came back from Vietnam. I was best man at one of my friend's weddings, and a week later, she was a widow.
Yes.
He was in the Tet Offensive. I watched all of that happen, and now I'm realizing much of it was a false flag. It was not about liberating Vietnam.
Jack,
I lost a lot of my friends and have lost a lot after Vietnam from Agent Orange.
Right. I have friends that were exposed to that as well. By the way, Agent Orange was a product developed by Monsanto, just for the record.
Correct.
Jack, let me ask you this. Boy, I don't know how else to do this but to put you on the spot. If you would like, I think it's so important that if you would like to teach a seminar on Sunday, I will hold open a slot for you to talk about the horrors of war and what the children of those who are attending should know about before they agree to let their young people be slaughtered by old men who start wars.
I sure would. And also of dancing around with the VA for years after you have your injuries. It's just terrible. I had a friend that had a complete nervous breakdown just about a month ago. Never had any record of any kind or anything, and was talking going to the VA, and 2 weeks later his house was SWAT teamed and they took out all his weapons, and he's a very broken and angry man now.
Jack, you're on Sunday afternoon. I'll put you on the website for your expo, The Horrors of War. Is that okay?
That's fine.
So, what did you think about American Sniper?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
Me either.
I wouldn't watch it because I know the background on the whole story, and I don't believe a word of it.
Right. You know, that's the whole thing. They're using our media as a form of mind control in redirecting our attention to the wrong focus.
Correct.
Rick and Jack, I was on the phone with a deputy, sheriff's deputy, recently, and he was telling me that he's going to sniper school. And I tell you honestly, I bit my tongue, and I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But what I was thinking is, you're serious, right? You're going to school to learn how to execute people. That's what you're, as a sheriff's deputy.
Reach out and touch somebody, like AT&T.
And if I were a sheriff's deputy, and the sheriff came to me and said, "Okay, Vinny, I want you to get on that rooftop and listen. There's this guy, and when we say squeeze, you squeeze that trigger and you kill him. You don't know him, but that's okay. You don't know that he's a father. That's okay. You don't know that he's on SSRI drugs, and that's okay. You don't know anything about him, but when we tell you to kill him, you're going to kill him. And for the rest of your life, you're going to remember this, but we're not going to tell you that. So go to sniper training, have a good time, and come back, better equipped to execute people."
I have something else I want to say. This is a little tangent, but it's relevant. When I was before Vietnam and during Vietnam, it was LSD, and people were trying to expand their consciousness. And today, the drug of choice is Prozac, and not wanting to expand consciousness. And when I watched that shooting in Colorado, Batman thing, there was 3 people involved. There was the kid that was on Prozac and went off, and when I saw him in court with his orange hair and his crazy look, that is the drug I studied with scopolamine. And you take someone on Prozac and you take them off Prozac and you lace them with scopolamine, and you now have a weapon that requires a handler and the oversight. And the oversight is the guy running the business from afar in a van, and usually the handler is the second shooter. And you'll notice that this was happening across the country, and nobody in the media got it right. They haven't addressed Sandy Hook. They have not addressed 9/11. The media is in cahoots, and I would boycott anything that is network.
Yes.
Please stay with alternative media, because nothing the mainstream media is telling us now is true. That is written in stone.
Rick, we've got Jack. I really appreciate you joining us for the expo and presenting your seminar on the horrors of war. We've got another caller. So, Jack,
thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for being with us.
I'll see you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday.
Roger that.
Bob in Michigan, you're on with Dr. Richard Allen Miller and me. Welcome.
Hi, Vince. Just a couple of things on the expo. Is there anybody talking about doing carpooling to get to the expo?
Yes, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. That was next on my list.
Excellent. Perfect.
We have just send me an email. We've got some guests coming from the East Coast. If you'd like to carpool from Pennsylvania, please let me know. Just send me an email, Vincent@usaprepares.com, Vincent@usaprepares.com, or contact us through the contact tab on the website, usaprepares.com.
Okay, yeah, I'll be, I'm up here in Michigan. I don't know if there's anybody else from Michigan going.
Well, I can
Joey,
tell you
some others. There's a bunch of people. We can network you in.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the last time we did one of these expos, 43 out of 50 states were represented, plus at least 4 countries. So, yeah, I'm certain that there are people who are coming from Michigan. So just wherever you are, if you want to share a ride, if you want to meet someone for the first time, hop in a vehicle, travel to the Get Prepared Expo, make new friends, network, do the unthinkable. The government tells you don't hitchhike, don't ride with people you don't know. If you want to do that, and I did it for all years and years and years, and Silent Night does it all the time. If you want to do that, contact us at usaprepares.com. Vincent at usaprepares.com. Bob, would you like to hold through the break?
Sure.
Okay. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Bob in Michigan. I'm Vin Finelli. We'll be right back. Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. How many...
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
You know, class, you just heard the commercial for the AR-15 gun kits. And, I was talking with our daughter, and she said, I'd like 2 of those. And our sons want them. And Mrs. Finelli and I have one. So if you want an AR-15 gun kit, no paperwork, at the Get Prepared Expo, $450. And we'll have them available for sale. You can buy them at the Get Prepared Expo. And we're going to have a demonstration on how to put them together. Bob from Michigan, I had a question for you. What is it about the Get Prepared Expo that makes you want to come to it?
Well, it'd be great just to get together with a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
I mean, plus all the, information and sources that will be there. I mean,
right.
So I think that's what attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, and you really will have a lot of fun. And if you make it on Friday night, if you make it to Rick's seminar, that'd be awesome. But if you make it to Friday night's banquet dinner, where you get a chance to see everybody stand up, one after the next, introducing ourselves, who we are, you really get a flavor for how incredible the faculty is. Rick, would you agree with that?
I absolutely come not to be there, but to meet people like Norm and you.
Yeah.
Vince, about the carpooling, so you
Yes.
want us to send in an email. What do? We send in, tell you who we are, where we're coming from, how many people.
Yeah, just say you'd like either you've got a vehicle and you're encouraging someone to join you, or you'd like to hop in someone else's vehicle, or you'd like to work it out where you're coming from.
Yeah,
okay,
and
what day you. Yeah, contact information. Phone number would be great. So, for example, your email would say something like, "I'm Bob Jones from this area of Michigan. I'm looking to share a ride. I'd like to, have someone join me. We'll split the fuel, that kind of thing. And maybe we can even split the room You know, if that's your intent, or whatever you plan to do. This is simply ride share, save money, like-minded people.
Yeah.
But I can't guarantee anybody's safety, so keep that in mind. I don't know. I don't know who you would be sharing a ride with. So, it might be fun to have two guys.
Attila, right?
But I can tell you this.
In my outdoors, the red ants call me a serial killer. So it's all a perspective.
Yeah. Now, if you come to the Cowan Civic Center for $10, you can camp there. There's no water hookup, but they do have electricity. So right in the parking lot, you can park there. They've got an electric hookup, and you call the Cowan Civic Center, and that information is on the website, USA Prepares. Just go to the Expo tab. All of that information is available. The discount motels are available. I think it's $54 a night or $59. It's the lowest price in the area, and you have to mention Get Prepared Expo or Vincent Finelli, and they've got free hot breakfast, and that's about a mile or two from the complex. The campus is huge. There's lots of free parking. Okay. Think of it like a parking lot bigger than Walmart has. So, really huge.
They'll let us tailgate or barbecue without the EPA coming in and shutting us down, right?
Well, we put the police on notice that they're not welcome to the Get Prepared Expo. We are consecrating the grounds as sacred Native American grounds, and they have to have a reason for being on the property. They have to apply for permission to be there. So if you want to tailgate, that's fine with us. The Cowan Civic Center is awesome. I mean, it's not like going to Springfield, Missouri, where they inspect, detect, and reject us. No, it's not like that. They love us. They actually love us. And, not everybody can go to the Get Prepared Expo at the Cowan. I'm sorry, not every event can exhibit at the Cowan Civic Center. They are very selective, and they love us. They really do, because we behave, we pay our bills, we're cordial, honest, upfront, have integrity, and they really love our event in Lebanon, Missouri. So we're going to a small city that really loves us. The newspaper loves us, the community loves us, and we really love them. So we're all looking forward to meeting you at the Get Prepared Expo. Rick, hey, thanks so much. Bob, thanks so much. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to...
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today, it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.